Hello, everybody. Hello, my YouTube friends. How are you? I am Kelly Weiler of Girl Upcycled Studio, and my studio is actually located in Zanesville, Ohio, which is just about an hour east of Columbus. Of course, we're closed right now. We are, what is the date? April 22nd, 2020. We are right now live. Hi, Dion. We are right now live going through the COVID thing right now. So we are all pretty much still on lockdown. I do have good news. It looks like May 1st, they're going to start slowly opening up businesses. I'm not sure what that's going to look like right now. But for right now, I have been shipping out through, just selling on the internet on my website and shipping and connecting with all of you here. So I'm so glad and blessed to at least have that. So I do have a couple of cameras rolling. So if I'm looking down here, I'm on Facebook as well. But listen, this is what I want to finish working on. I started this probably a good week ago, and I did a combination of some colors. I'm going to go over real quick what I used on here. I used, as my base coat, I used Bohemian Blue, and it is from the DIY paint from Debis Design Diary. These are all her products. I used, the second color is Hey Sailor, which is a navy blue, and it's so beautiful. And then I just took Old 57, which is, those of you that watch me for any amount of time, you know, this is my favorite. That's my favorite color. I'll show you how pretty. It's just that beautiful, like when you wear the turquoise jewelry, it's like that same beautiful bright turquoise. So I've got that kind of in the middle and on all of the accents, okay? And then just a quick recap. All the embellishments that I've used are the Iron Orchid Design products, okay? So I've just taken paper clay. Again, I sell all of these products on my website at girlupcycledstudio.com, and I will go ahead, excuse me, and share that link in the description when I get done. So these are what the forms look like, and you just press your clay down, and that's how I've applied all the embellishments. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Let me take a quick drink of coffee. Hi, Heather. Hello, everybody over here on Facebook. Glad to see you all. Let me run through. Hi, Suzanne and Cheryl and Mara. Okay, let me go ahead and get started on some florals. So my thought is, I love it. I think it's going to be a nice little statement piece, but I think it does need some, needs to be extra, right? Because we've gone this far, so why not just keep going with it, right? Let me just adjust the camera just a smidgen. So I'm thinking just some florals kind of worked in. I have it, sorry, my voice. I have a deep purple mixed up where I've used blue iris and kissing booth to get this beautiful kind of a, I would say a violet, more of a blue purple. So I've got that mixed up. I also have the pink on my plate, and then I have a little bit of red, and I think it is Marquee. Okay. So let me go ahead and just get started. I think I'm just going to use my fingers today, gang, because I want it really soft. Hey, everybody. I see you over there. And I'm going to just kind of just slightly create almost this kind of smoky layered kind of thing. And I'm just going to kind of think about the flow and how I want the flowers to be. So all of the paints are clay-based paints, so they're safe to just jump in with your fingers and use. And I'm taking my water as I'm using my fingers, and I'm just kind of gently fading blending it all out into that background because I want it a little bit, when it dries, it's going to be a little more subtle, okay? Hi, Karen. Hey, hey. And those of you over here on YouTube, hello. And if I miss your comments, just keep talking to me because the comments kind of disappear a little bit fast over here on YouTube. Now you could, if you want to lay it in with your brush, you could, which I might do, and then I may just go ahead and soften it out with my finger because I had a lot of paint on my brush. I'm going to go to kind of the background of my flower. I want that deep violet kind of a color. And it kind of helps too. I don't know if you noticed how far back on my brush I'm holding. It really does help you lose control a little bit by holding your brush that way. That's how I teach in my Creators Club, all the ladies in there, because most of all, when I notice they're painting and they're asking me what they can do, it is to paint looser. To paint loosely, you need to give up a little bit of that control, right? So that automatically forces you to give up control when you're holding your paintbrush back that far. You guys should see my setup here. I am so scrunched up. I have all these cameras up on top of me and lights, and hi Marcia, and everything all around me. So if I was to, you'd probably laugh if you see my setup right now. But I am trying to not have to turn my heater on today too. So I have my little heater, my little small heater beside me. It's a pretty big area, so I didn't want to have to heat up this whole place. Okay, so I think that's about kind of how I want, and I may do a little bit up here. Maybe just to kind of balance it just a little bit. You want to think about your eyes, how your eyes go around a painting. Even with something like this, there's a lot going on, even though it's all in the blues, but you still want to think of the balance and how your eyes are going to kind of dance around the artwork, so to speak, I guess, for lack of a better word. So that's good enough. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to dip into some of my kissing booth that I have already mixed up. And I'm just leaving that color on my brush, which is some of that violet purple that I mixed. And let's just start adding a little bit of color faintly, right? I'll lay it on there, and then I'm going to use my fingers. And it's okay, there's a little bit dripping there. It's mostly water, but I mean, I'm not going to hate it if it drips a little bit on me. Okay. Any questions? Y'all are talking to each other over on Facebook. I love that. I thought about putting some words on here, but I don't know. I don't know that it's needed. What do y'all think? I think that might be even too much. just work your hands around whichever way you can. Moving your brush in all those directions. Now you will notice as it dries, it's going to look like it's a little more blended in than it actually looks right now, okay? That's because it is clay-based paint, okay? So that's kind of the little trick to using the clay-based paint, is just going into it knowing that it will change colors whenever you get it wet again. So it's going to get darker, and then as it dries, it's going to lighten back up again. You can reactivate this, gang, which is kind of pretty cool. Just going to drop that on there. Take my fingers so that I soften it. I'm going in with, as I go forward into my painting, I'm coming forward and I'm using a little bit brighter colors as I'm coming forward. And I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I'll try to give you a close-up before I get done here. I hope you're all doing well through this COVID thing. Hope you're finding peace every day and different things to bless your life every day, you know, and looking at the positive things right now. So I think it's kind of been nice in a way because I've really gotten to be home a little bit more with my daughter, which has been kind of fun. We've been going on, you know, walks and things like that together. Let me get my paper towel and another little drink. Are you able to see very well over here on YouTube? I hope so. Pull you a little bit closer. See if I have any questions over here. I don't see any. Okay, so I'm just kind of letting that kind of dry just a little bit. The one thing you can do is if you're not too sure about where you're at, you can always get a hairdryer and just kind of dry it a little bit. But I think I can see it a little bit, probably better than what you are. So I'm going to tap in just a little tiny bit of red in this too. Let's see if I can tap some of that in. I'm going to tap in a little bit of water too so that just slightly drips just a little bit. And what will happen as it drips, it'll almost make it look like some of the layers of the flowers are dripping down, which is kind of cool. And so far I'm just using that brighter red to do that. Use my fingers just to soften it up just a little bit. And that'll help mute it. Let it find its way, and I do like to look back behind me onto the monitor quite a bit. That kind of helps me see how everything's laid out, and I feel like I have a good dance for the eye going on. I think what I'm going to do now is kind of, I might add a little touch of maybe a deep green to give the appearance of leaves. Let me figure out what I want to use. Hold on 1 minute. Let's see. see my Monet. Let me grab my Monet. So I just grabbed Monet's Garden, which is a really deep hunter green. I am painting. Somebody said, "What you doing with that, chica?" So really pretty. This is called Monet's Garden. It's one of the newer colors that is out in the line. We had lots of beautiful greens come out this time. So it's pretty dark. I don't want to overtake it with green. So I might just use my finger again, just to kind of, so it's just kind of almost an impressionistic kind of a look is what I'm going for. I want it to be very, it's going to have that illusion of a flower. It's not going to be like a in-your-face kind of a thing. It's going to be just a little more subtle. Oh, that's pretty. I'm really liking it. Let me give you guys a close-up so you can see it a little bit closer, because I know you're not probably seeing the details. Let me put this somewhere. I need another table. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull this up off of here. So those are my first layers. I'm going to kind of let that dry, and then I'm going to add some over top of that. I'll give that just a second to dry. You can really see the detailing in all of the base coats. Hey Tanya, how are you? The base coats that I put on, you can really see all the detail in that now. Let me come over here and show everybody over on Facebook land. And then I'll do some waxing and some things like that. Yeah, hey Jude. So you want to think about your final look is not going to be this. It's going to be whatever finish that you put over top, and this goes for paint. This goes for furniture painters as well. You want to think about you know, that last finishing top coat, or however many top coats you put on. That's actually what your finished look will be. So I usually, and that's why I like the DIY paint colors, is because they're pretty bold. They're very highly pigmented. So they kind of really pop. So, which is perfect for when you go ahead and do your waxes and your layering, or you do patinas over top of it. They're bold enough to stand out through the layers of the patinas and the waxes and things like that, which is what's going to give it all the depth. Yes, I will be. I think I'm going to sell it. I don't know. I might want it for my house. Somebody's asking. Yes, I'll probably sell it. That's so funny. Okay, so that's, you can kind of see how it's fading as it's drying. See how that's getting that kind of fade out kind of look? That's exactly where I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to add a little more of the greenery to it. Okay, it's nice and subtle. You're funny, Erin. Funny girl. something to think about too when you're doing different florals and things like that. It's nice to put your greenery in between the layers of flowers to really make it just that authentic look, the depth that it needs. When you see flowers either growing in the wild or even an arrangement, there's lots of layers that you look at when you're looking at it. So if you apply your greenery that way, it kind of gives it, you know, a little more of a natural kind of feel. Layering the greenery. Just do a little bit at a time, and then you can peek back, take a look at it. So I feel like it has a really nice flow. Okay. Take another quick drink. I'm just kind of slowly working as it dries. So nice. It's kind of, we're watching paint dry literally. So I always have a little something I'm drinking here. Got some coffee, Caribou coffee. But I'm really loving the purple that's bouncing off of this. It's really, it's got a lot of depth to it. I like it. A little more layering. And don't be afraid to go over those flowers that you've already done, okay? Flowers aren't naturally just separated, right? They're, when you see them out in the wild, they're grown over top of each other and they ramble, and they're just not always that perfect spacing, right? Tap in a little bit of red maybe. Some of this. I don't think it'll take a lot. Again, everybody, if you're just tuning in, this is different colors from Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint. It's all from her line. It's clay-based paint. It is what I use for all of my furniture painting, but I do often use it for many artwork that I do. I add texture medium into it sometimes, or there are times that you let it dry out and it can get real thick on its own and you don't really even need texture medium. So it's a lot of fun. You can build layers. You can do raised stenciling and all kinds of just really cool different things. Thank you, Sarah. Patricia, thank you. I did not. I haven't put words on this or anything yet. Nope. I sure haven't. I'm just kind of building these flowers and having some fun today. Trying to stay warm. Apparently we're going back to winter here in Ohio. So I don't know if you can see the little telephone back behind me. I know those of you on Facebook can't, but if you're on YouTube, you see that little telephone back there? So I'm going to be doing the same thing to some of these old phones, and I'm hollowing them out and putting succulents in them. They're so cute. So I'm going to be doing some embellishing on those and upcycling. I love to upcycle, you know. The girl likes to upcycle. I do. So I'm just kind of think that's pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied. I am going to walk back. I always like to give myself a little bit of distance, and I like to kind of make sure I've got it spaced out the way I want it. I feel like I need a little more red. And you know what, I might just let some more of the red drip, because it, see if we can get a little more drippy. So I think that would be kind of cool on this, since it is, it'd be pretty rock and roll, I would say. Every home needs a little bit of rock and roll, I think, right? So just let a little bit of that drip. Like that. And the good thing about paint, if you don't like it, you guys, you can just paint over it. It really is forgiving. With the DIY paint, just like here, it's running down that curve. I don't necessarily know that I want that. I'm just going to blot it. Blot that. And it'll be good. It wet distresses, which means I could literally get a rag or a paper towel or wet wipes. I use wet wipes a lot too. Always make sure that I use like wet wipes that don't have any, you know, a lot of stuff in it. And then it'll just wipe off. So if you do make a mistake using this paint, you can kind of just pull it back off and redo it, and it's very forgiving. Back here, see if it Now, what you can do is just let your drips drip naturally, like I just did with the brush. And if you want to make your drips a little more subtle, you're going to use a spray bottle and you're going to spray it down. So if I was to take this and squirt it down, it would make those drips a little more transparent. So, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's rock and roll, right? I think that it's bold and it can be, you know, a little edgier, right? That's what I'm thinking. I do want to add a little more pink, which is like a fuchsia. Okay, Erin, I'll see you, girl. Great with your hutch. You're so funny. Yes, it would. That means I have to make myself another one, which I can. All right, so the fuchsia I'm using is called Kissing Booth. Again, I will drop all the links there in the description so that y'all can find these colors. I hope that you play with it a little bit, you guys. Get your hands in there and have fun with it. Think outside the box. I mean, there's lots of things you can paint. I was even thinking about during, you know, the situation right now we're going into, or that we have been into with the whole COVID thing, and we're not able to get out. Hobby Lobby's closed, guys. I mean, we know things are bad when you can't get to the Hobby Lobby, right? But I was thinking, you know, what could you use for, because I do some public classes online, live. I've been doing that since this whole quarantine started. And I was thinking you could even go into your cupboard and get your cereal boxes and cut them up and use like the backs of the cereal boxes instead of canvas, if you really had to, if you can't get out and you still want to paint and experiment and do some fun things. So, you know, think about things like that. You know, I would rather see you guys be creative and paint and create rather than not. I just want you to be involved, get involved, okay? I'm pretty happy with this, guys. Pretty happy. I do enjoy painting with brushes that are a little bit big. The reason for that, again, is just the amount of control. It allows you to be looser, loosey-goosey when you're painting. Okay, I'm gonna let that set. I'm gonna put the heat up against it so it dries really well. Are there any questions at all? Hold on, I get messages coming in. Any questions? Let me see if I can see anything. I forget how to pull all of the comments up on here, guys. Oh, you guys are gonna die. I'm gonna show you. Look at my old heater that I have. Isn't that bad? I just did not want to heat this whole place today. And it actually was pretty warm up until the sun went down. So as soon as that sun goes down, man, it gets chilly in here. So I just didn't want to heat this whole area. So it's going to, when this dries, it's going to start to look a little flatter, which is fine. It's matte paint, so it's going to kind of flatten. The look's going to kind of flatten until you put your top coats on it. I'll tell you what we can do while that's drying. I'm going to show you what I'm doing to the sides, and you guys can tell me if you like it or not. I debated upon doing gold leafing on the sides of it, and instead I started using our pennies from heaven. So I'm thinking, can y'all see that? It's pretty shiny, right? I'm thinking the pennies for heaven is going to work, and I thought about even scraping in some of the gold, which would be our golden ticket. So, but I want to do a solid coverage of this one. Let's see, where's my brush? Give me a nice, I'm going to use Dion's brush here. This is the Turquoise Iris Edge brush. It's a nice angled edge. I do sell these on my website. I'll try to put the link for that in here. Extremely nice. They come in full pack, so you can get a full pack of every size and shape and all that good stuff. But this one has a nice edge, so you can really cut in. So I'm going to do that. If you've not used these brushes, you will love it. Okay, I hope I don't spill this or I'm going to cry. So let me show you what this is. Can I purchase this, please? Uh-oh, Wendy, you're going to have to fight Aaron over this. I'll check and make sure. I know Aaron was wanting it. You guys, this is a brand new product from the DIY paint company from Debbie's Design Diary. Packaging and labels are top notch, aren't they? Just like that alone makes me happy. But this is called Pennies from Heaven, and this is just a beautiful copper kind of color. Okay, so let's see. I think this is going to do pretty well. And I'll kind of show you what, I'll probably do 2 coats of this. I don't know, I thought about doing, like I said, scraping on some of the golden ticket as well, so I don't know. We shall see. But look at that coverage. Really pretty, right? I told you, you guys, I'm gonna glam this thing up. I think it's fun. These little mixed media projects like this are so fun to do because you can be pretty extra with this and get away with it, you know, like more is more kind of thing. Oh, your husband plays, Wendy? Okay. Well, let me, yeah, it's cool, right? I'll get a hold of Erin and make sure. I know she's been asking about it. So if you notice, I'm kind of taking my brush and I'm pulling it up over that edge because I don't want it spilling onto the front of it is why I'm doing that. Wonder if I could hang this and do it. The paint, you guys, too, just remember you don't want to overwork it, just like any paint, honestly, but you will end up pulling it back off, and I see a lot of people that do that, overwork the paint. This would really be pretty, even just left with some of that dark coming through. I think I'm going to do a solid coverage though. It's a better picture. See, you can see how the colors on the front are drying now and how it is a little more subtle, right, than when it was wet. So if that's not rock and roll, honey, I don't know what is. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't know if I can hang that and do it. Let me just turn it. Wendy, what does your husband play? I mean, you said guitar, but does he play a specific genre or a little bit of everything? Y'all know I love my rock and roll though. I love blues. I love, what else? I love lots of music. Here lately, what have y'all been listening to? Here lately, I've been listening to like the old, kind of like, I don't know, kind of the nerdy rock. I guess I would call it like the nerdy rock, like the Hall & Oates, which is not normal, but you know. A girl has to find some amusement during quarantine, I'm just saying. The nerdy rock. Country and classic rock. Love it. That's awesome. Love the classic rock. All right. So I do love the coverage of that, gang. So what would you use this on? I mean, I know those of you that are watching this for the first time, that needs a second coat, but still pretty dang good for a patina. It's a pretty darn good. What would you use it on? We rock up some of the old country. That would be fun. See, and I love when bands do that. Like, I even love it when, like, I'm not one to sit and listen to like a lot of like bluegrass unless it's live. And I love it, like, I forget who it was, but there was a bluegrass band that took a Pink Floyd song and played it, and it was so good. Uh-oh. I might need to plug in my phone, which means I need to unplug my heat. Put it on the wall in the music. Yep, that would be beautiful, right? Very good. Okay. It's almost dry. I was going to try to go ahead and wax it. I don't know if y'all want to wait on that or not. I think what I will try to do is I'm going to try to splice together this entire video of this start to finish so that I can upload it onto YouTube so that y'all can see the whole thing. I'll edit it down so y'all don't have to listen to all the gabbing going on. Let me plug this in so I don't lose you. That's almost dry. Let me just keep working on this. You want to make sure you get this cleaned off really well off of your brushes, because I'm kind of spoiled. The paint that I use, the Debis Design Diary, that paint comes up so easily. Like, I can walk away. Like, if a customer comes in, I can walk away and come back, and I can still get those brushes really clean. Now, if you have any of the patinas on it, they're not going to come clean quite as easy. So just kind of be aware of that. Okay. Let's see, how can I do this? How's the video over there on YouTube? YouTube world, good? I hope. I need to, boy, that's drying really nice, guys. I hope y'all been creating. Have y'all been making stuff? Tell me what you've been working on. Y'all painting today, or those of you that are stuck at home? Oh, that's so pretty. So this is a great, boy, look at the shine on that, guys. It's crazy, right? I gotta go to the store when I leave here, which I dread. To the grocery. The patina that I'm using, gang, I think I only have 2 tubs of this left, and I have a couple of the golden left. So I did order more. So hopefully that'll, I don't know how fast they're going to be shipping out, but I do have more coming. I will definitely want to go over that again. Hope I'm not missing any questions. All right. Whoops. Okay. I feel like I can go ahead and probably go ahead and wax it. If y'all want to watch, I have to go get my waxes. My goodness, I've been on here for 44 minutes already. 45 minutes. Let me go ahead and wax it real quick, and then we'll be done. guys hate it when people just MIA and walk off the screen. I do that all the time. All right, so I'm gonna start with clear. Let's see, do I have a clear brush? This is my old brush, it's kind of funky. Do I wanna use this? Go get a different one. Okay, this is clear wax. Again, from Debbie's Design Diary. It's just clear wax, it's all natural. And I'm gonna go ahead and just cover the entire thing with clear, which I need to move my camera a little bit. And again, you're gonna notice that it changes colors because, like I said earlier, when you get it wet, it's always gonna darken and then it'll lighten back up as it dries. I need another coat on the back. This is really going to bring the colors out. It's going to richen everything up just a bit. I set back down. Hopefully that's better. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier there for all of you on YouTube. Not been on YouTube forever, you guys. It's so hard to get the edited stuff out, so it's easier just to go live, which I don't know if that's good or bad on YouTube, but and those flowers are just going to be kind of like very subtle, kind of in the background. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be too in your face or anything. I have all of these molds for sale here in my studio. You can use these molds on so many different things. Okay. Nice. Hey Susan, how are you? My goodness, so good to see you. Thank you, Diane. Okay, so good question. Wendy's question came in and it says, what does the wax do? And the wax does act as a sealer. It is a nice sealer for something that is not going to be in high use. So like, obviously this isn't a guitar somebody's going to play. It's a guitar that's going to be used more for artwork, right? So low traffic items is what I call it. So and it's going to seal it, it's going to protect it. It's going to put a really beautiful soft sheen on this. Okay, and when it dries, it'll lighten back up just a little bit, and then I'll just do like a real subtle little buffing to it. So there's that. Let me get my, we do have this new wax that came in. I don't think I'm going to use it though, but I did want to show you. This is called Shipwrecked. It's a finishing wax that is, I think it's beautiful turquoise. That's new. I have small ones left in this color. This is dark wax, again from the DIY Paint Company, Debbie's Design Diary. The waxes are absolutely beautiful. Soft, gives it a soft sheen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can apply this. And my brushes, my wax brushes I left out, and it's been cold in here, so they've gotten a little stiff. So let me see if I can. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of use this on the edges. This is going to kind of antique it or age it just a little bit. Okay. I don't know if you're able to even see that too well. So the reason, if you're, I don't know if you're wondering why I did the clear first, is that's going to put a little bit of a barrier. It's very porous paint, and it just like sucks that up. It sucks it right up. So by putting the clear on first, it just soaks it in, puts a nice barrier, and then when I go over top of it with this dark wax, like if I feel like it's too much in certain place, I can just easily just pull it right back off. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And again, I'm going right over top of these flowers because remember, I wanted it to be subtle. Subtle. Go ahead and should have brought a lint-free rag, but I don't have it here, so I'm just going to grab my paper towels. Hoping you'd get to go home today. Oh, talking to Susan. She must have got out of the hospital today. DIY is a chalky clay paint. It must be sealed. Right. Exactly. And you know what? I'm not liking this. I want to use my oh, it looks pretty though. But I don't like the, let me grab my rag. This will be much better. It's going to look dark until it dries again, okay? It'll take a little bit longer for the wax to dry. So pretty. Those of you that watch me paint this, you remember that texture that I put in during the application of this? It's really paying off right now with the putting the waxes on it. It's really popping. My paint's fairly fresh, so I don't want to like over buff it or anything until it gets a little time to cure a little bit. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, if you want to bring out any of the highlights even a little bit more, you can then jump in with your white wax. So creamy. The waxes are just really, really yummy and creamy. And you can apply white wax wherever you want to, like, kind of make it highlight and pop a little bit. Any of these. Maybe you want like a little bit on here. You can kind of play around with it, kind of blend it. You can have a lot of fun with these waxes that have the pigmentation. I'm going to make it look kind of cloudy. Dreamy kind of. Now, just like with anything, if you get something maybe on there and you don't like it, you can just use clear wax as an eraser, and you can just erase it right off of there if you like. But I kind of like it in there. Little touch of it, just kind of as a highlight. Let's highlight that bird out a little bit. Any questions? Those of you over here on YouTube, do you have any questions about this? Anything at all? Hey, Christine. Hello. Good to see ya. Sort of see ya. This is about as much as we can see people right now. I'll give you guys a close-up. And like I said, as this dries, you have to remember it's grease, it's oily, right? It's wax. It's not grease, it's wax. So it has that greasy kind of feel to it. So as it dries, this color is going to lighten up a little bit more. But I think you can kind of, let me show everybody up here. Yeah, Jonna, I am... Yeah, you can buy everything, all of these products, even the molds that I used are right directly on my website at girlupcycledstudio.com, and I ship it right to your house. So everything can be bought. But let me come up close. So you really, those of you over here on YouTube are able to see the detailing of that the wax just put in there. So it really just kind of aged it to where it almost, I mean, even though we know that this was made, that it's going to give the appearance that it's been like this forever. Give you a nice shot over here, all of you on Facebook. So you can kind of see the flowers, how they're just kind of faded, and there's a hint of flowers. It's not really in your face, but it's just enough. Oh, thanks, Wendy. I mean, honestly, the wax is just kind of magical, isn't it? So think about this project when you're out and about and you find different instruments and different things that you could pick up. Think about these products and what you can do to it. So like I told you guys, I've got the old retro phones I'm going to be doing this to. Even with this would be cool, just with some kind of air plants or something coming. You could do something with it if you didn't want to just hang it. I just think it looks cool just like it is, though. But, you know, lots of ideas. Okay, those of you over here on YouTube, do you have any questions for me before I sign off? And Susan, thank you. Thank you so much. This was a really fun project, and I'm going to do 2 coats of the sides, so you can kind of still see some of the dark. So I'm going to do 2 coats, so that'll be a solid coverage of that. And then the back of that handle, I need to touch up the paint on the back of that handle. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. The one thing that I do want to say, and this will be in my video, I'm going to make a start to finish video edited of this project, hopefully. I hope. It's my intention. But when you apply especially a long strip like this, it does have a little bit of shrinkage. So after it sits for a couple days, you'll see a little bit of space where it shrinks. So after it shrinks, you just come back in and you just fill it with more of the paper clay is all you do. Paper clay does sometimes shrink a little bit, which I kind of like. I kind of like it because it cracks and all that good stuff. Anything else, gang? How about you over on Facebook? Because now we're a good hour in, so I feel like I need to give you back your lives. But thank you guys so much, especially all of you over here on YouTube. I feel like I neglect you guys, and I love you all so much. So I'm going to try really hard to keep popping in here, and even if I just have to come on live, you know, it's better than nothing. So I will drop the links to all of these products. And if you have questions and you're watching this at a later date, just make sure you put something in the comment section. To find the comment section, all you do is you scroll down all the way down to the bottom. You'll go through a lot of other like videos, the suggested videos, and then you'll come to the comment section. It just occurred to me that not everybody knows that, so you can comment directly to me and it goes right into my inbox. So if you love art projects and learning things, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. All right, have fun, everybody. I'll talk to y'all soon.